Okay, that's the real estate table that you downloaded from lab 10, and this time you have to generate everything. So the first thing that it tells you is to save that as PR10 real estate. And then they say in row 1 and 2, row 1 and 2 contain field names. Field names should be in only one row. Click cell A2, type agency name, click the gray row 1 button to the left of row 1, and then click delete button in the cell group on the ribbon. When you delete a row, the whole row below shift it. So see here we have agency name, and we want in A2 to make it agency name like I asked you actually on the assignment. So you need to take the word agency and go to A2 and paste agency, and then after the agency, hit Alt and Enter. So now you have it on 2 lines in the same cell. Now you need to highlight that row and right click and delete, and that would delete the first row. Now you see that there is some rows in here that have like totals or have a blank, so we need like to highlight all of these. Remember, if you use Control, you will be able to highlight none alternate rows, then this last one. So Control, and now delete all of them. Just right click and choose delete, and these will delete these rows for you. So now I have everything correct on in the worksheet. Now it says click 11 to the left of row 11, and then press F4 to repeat the delete. Oh, that's talking about the reefs and how all of these rows that were empty or have totals are deleted. Now we want to sort a list. And we want to sort that list by agency name. So same thing for 2. So I'm going to click in cell in column A, anywhere in column A, and I want to choose sort and filter here. And I want to sort these from A to Z, which means in ascending order. So you see the Fire Lake Realtors all come, and then Fritz Arnold, and then Sunny Days. So that will sort it. So if I want to sort now the list by 2 criteria, not just one. So I can And that again was there in on the first test. If we want to sort by agency name and also by last name of the realtor, so I'm going to click this time on sort and filter on the arrow, and I will choose custom sort. And I would say it already shows that you have agency name, but I'm going to add a level, and I'll say we want to add the last name. And we'll keep it A to Z. And hit OK. And now you see they are still like sorted by agency name, but in a particular agency you have Adair first, and then Adams, and then Amber, and then Dell. So the realtor are sorted also by alphabetical order. Now we want to filter the list. Filter meaning that I want to show only specific things. So it tells you, now this time choose the filter. So you can be anywhere. We'll go and choose filter. And that will add the filter. And if I want to filter bedroom, I want only to show estates that have 4 bedrooms. So I see here that you can also highlight all of the columns because they are not showing correctly, and move your cursor at the top at the border and double click, and that will widen the columns. So now you can see that I have some that are 4. So now I'm gonna try and filter, and instead of selecting all, I want to only show those who are 4 bedroom, because I have like a customer who is only interested in 4 bedroom. And I get a list of 7 different estates. Now again, if someone is asking for the square footage and I want to show anything that's greater than 3,000, so I'm going to unselect and I will choose only the 3,000, 3,400 and 5,500. So it's only showing those that are either 3,000 or above. Okay, is there a way that we can do it a different way? So here is everything that I have, and I'm gonna go and choose filter, and for bedroom I will choose number filters, and this time I will say greater than or equal to 300 or 3,000. Was it 300 or 3,000? Oh, that's supposed to be the square footage. I have actually chose the bedroom. So now it's showing everything that is 3,000 or more. You can, of course, combine criteria. So if I want 4 bedrooms and also greater than, I'm going to go and under the square footage. So now here you are looking at 2 conditions. One that is greater than or equal to 3,000 and number of bedroom is 4. So 2 conditions that are combined with an and. Now, let's say, for example, we're looking for a specific realtor who's responsible. I only trust a specific realtor, and I can't remember his or her name, but I only know that they start with a T. So in that case, you can choose text filters and say begin with, and you say begin with a T. So it's only Jessica Terry that is available to that has a 2-story 5,500 square footage with 4 bedrooms. So I want to now remove all of the filter. I'm going to go add sort and filter and say clear. And now I see all of my data. Now we want now to find subtotals for each agency. So we have Fire Lake Realtors and then Threads and then Sunny, and we want to subtotal for each one of them. So first I'm going to remove the filters also. Now I'm going to go to the data button and I will click on subtotal button. Now it tells me what do you want to subtotal by. Do you want it by agency name? And definitely we want it by agency name, and we want to use the sum. And every time there is a change to the agency, it will show the sum of, and we have to tell it now what is it that we want the sum of. So if you want to find the sum of the asking price, so you'll choose, instead of listing, you'll choose asking, and you'll uncheck the listing. Then make sure that only asking is selected and hit OK. So now I see these hashes here. And the hashes are because the column is not wide enough. So again, move your cursor to the edge and double click, and now you see that for Fire Lake your total is 3,663,613. Fritz Arnold is just 1 million, and Sunny Days is 3 million, so the total is 7 million and something. Now, one thing you should notice is on the left hand side you have these now outline that's there. So if I click on one, you see that now Fire Lake has only just the total for it. You don't have the details. And when you do that, the minus sign changes into a plus sign. That means collapsing the list, collapsing the list. So if I click again on the minus sign on Fritz Arnold, again, Fritz Arnold is going to collapse to just the subtotal. Same thing for Sunny. So I have now the total asking price for Fire Lake, Fritz Arnold, and Sunny, along with their with the grand total. I can always expand now to show everything. Now I can, let's say we have this and we decided, okay, I don't want the subtotal that way, I need to use a pivot table. You can always go to the subtotal and tell it to remove all. So I don't want any subtotals, and that will bring you back to the original sheet. This time you want to create a pivot table, and a pivot table again is a way for you to summarize the information in a large sheet. This sheet has only 26 rows, but sometimes you have sheets that spans 2,000 rows, 3,000 rows, 30,000 rows, and you really need to summarize them by category. So I can summarize by agency name, I can summarize by particular type, so ranch will appear by itself, and two-story, and patio home, and so on. So for you to insert a pivot table, you will go and click on Insert, and you will choose Pivot Table. And you want to hit OK, that you want to create a pivot table, but you want to create it in a new sheet. And once you do that, you see that you have a design that you can manipulate in any way you want. So let's say we want to design a table that will show the agency name, the type of estate it is, whether it is a ranch or a two-story, and the asking price. So I want to know what agency it is, what type of home it is, and what price is being asked for that. So I'm going to click on agency name, and I see now that a row or like a column has been created for agency, and then I choose the type. And as soon as you do that, you see that for each agency, a number of types has been added. And the last thing is the asking price. And you see, because it is a number, it automatically goes under values, because it doesn't have text of it. So Excel anticipates that you want to actually add things. So you see now that for the Fire Lake Realtor, you have a total of 3 million again, and listed below are the different types for Fire Lake, then Fritz Arnold and the different types, and Sunny Days and the different types of houses that are available. So one thing that I don't like is the word row labels. I don't want it to say row labels. I want it to say agency. And instead of having the types right underneath each of the agency, I want them to appear as columns by themselves. So I'm going to grab that type and drag it under column labels. Actually, the computer have frozen. So let me save it first, maybe. Okay. So now I can drag type and put it under column labels, and you see now that you have the different types of houses displayed in each of the columns. So instead of some label, I'm gonna change that into type. Okay, and let's say, for example, because we have more columns for type and less rows for agency, we would switch these two together. So now I'm going to drag type again down and put agency under the column head. So see now I have the agency name and the type, but I have to swap again the column title. So this time I will call this type, and this will be called agency name. So you can play with the design of the pivot table in any way you want. Now let's say we want to create now a pivot chart, a chart to explain that. One thing about the filters that you see is that at any point in time if you, for example, are interested only in patio home, you can uncheck the select all and only show the patio home. And only 2 agencies offer these, and that's Sunny Days Realtor. Actually, 1 agency only that provide that. So then you can always clear that and choose the So now to create a pivot chart, we are going to again click on Insert and choose a chart. So we'll go back to the original sheet. So we want to add agency name, type again, pool and asking. So we want those that have a pool and are also have asking. And I'm going to put the pool under filter so people can choose or not choose whether they want something with a pool or not. Again, I'm going to put the agency name as a column. And now when you look, you see the asking price for each agency and the different types of so you get to choose whether there is a pool or there is no pool. So if you choose no, then it will only show those who do not have a pool. So go ahead and change it, and you can change it either from the chart or from the pivot table. So if I say pool is yes, I have only 2 realtors that are offering this. That's the patio home and the 2-story by Sunny Day Realtor. So we want to rename that as pivot chart. And 4, we'll name it as pivot table. And so that's the data. Okay. And now we'll save it and you can upload it to Blackboard. They want you, before you do that, actually you need like to do a footer for the pivot chart. So for the pivot chart, be best if you actually move it right beside. Okay, and you click on header and footer, and we want a custom footer. And in the left section, you're going to type in your name. And in the right section, you will put the date by clicking on insert date and hit OK. And if you want to print preview, you see that here is my graph and I see my name and the date at the footer. So now you are ready to upload to your so I'm going to click save and close.